Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I want to talk a little bit about black owned businesses and our desire to support black owned businesses and how it can sometimes lead to challenges, maybe even a little bit of disappointment. I actually had a disappointment not too long ago, and it made me think about doing this video. I've been meaning to do it. I think about two examples. One example was with contractors, people that do your plumbing, that fix things around the house, things like that. I remember talking to some people about getting black contractors to do certain kinds of work. And what I repeatedly kept hearing is that, the black contractors don't, they'll take your deposit and promise to do the money and then won't follow up and won't actually do the job. And of course that's a racial stereotype, but I'm going to just keep it 100 and give you a real life experience with that kind of made me sad. I had a friend who lived in the south side of Chicago, and I said, I need some work done. I said, do you know anybody who can get this done for me? And she said, okay, I know somebody who can do it. And so she went and she called the guy, and the guy didn't get back. And I said, hey, where's your friend? And she said, let me call him again. And she called him, and then he got back and said, I'll call you back. I'll let you know what's going on. And he never followed up. And that really kind of bothered me because I mentioned that to somebody, and then they said, yeah, whenever I'm trying to get work done, the contractors in general, the contractors aren't good. Or you have a lot of contractors out there that'll do that, that'll take your deposit, or will just promise to do things and won't do it. But we were specifically talking about black contractors. Not that black contractors are any worse, but I just wanted to kind of share that experience because it was kind of sad. It was kind of sad when a white boy stepped up to do one of the jobs, and he was on it. He was on it. Did everything he said he was going to do. Took the deposit, finished the job, did a great job, got his money. It was good. And it doesn't mean that this stereotype is pervasive. It does not mean that there are not black contractors out there that can do the damn thing. But it does mean that when you're talking about building trust with black businesses, I know a lot of people who will come to me and they'll say, I try to go to black owned business, and either they can't find one, and when they do find one, they get disappointed. And so I think you got to think about doing business with people almost like learning to love again. Black people don't love each other. We don't have economic love for each other because black consumers don't trust black businesses, and black businesses think black consumers are cheap or shady or mean or whatever. And I just think that that requires give and take on both sides. So on the side of the customer, it might require a little bit of patience. You might have to pay a little bit more, what I call the black tax. So I'll pay a little bit more to get a black contractor. I can't always get black people to do certain jobs. I'll tell you, just recently, I had a black young lady that I had wanted to hire as a babysitter, and the interview came up, and she just didn't show up. I mean, it wasn't even an interview. She already had the job because she was recommended by somebody I had sent to go find us somebody, and I was just going to meet her, and we were supposed to meet at 3 o'clock, and 3 came, 3:10, 3:15. I said, did you hear from her? Did she call you? She didn't call. She just didn't show up. And this is not exclusive to black people. We know white folks do this, Asian people do it, etc. But we're talking about building business in the black community. So for those of you that actually give a damn, what I would encourage you to do is, take pride in trying to really stick with your word. That means if you promise to be a plumber and fix somebody's sink, fix it, or tell them why you couldn't fix it. Don't and by all means, don't take the deposit and then not finish the job, or have them going crazy and fighting and everything else. If somebody pays you the money, then do the job. And if somebody does the job, pay them the money. Everything doesn't go right. Sometimes you have disputes. I've had disputes with people where they didn't do a good job, and I said, I'm not paying you. And they're like, oh, you're robbing me, you took my money. I'm like, no, you didn't do the job, so you're not getting the rest of your money, right? So things happen, but I think that in general, if somebody does the job and they're owed money, pay them. And then if you are the contractor, if you are the business, do your best to really focus on customer service. Don't treat your black customers worse than your white ones. I see black business owners do that. I had to have a hard conversation with a black lawyer. I fired a black lawyer one time because because he, first of all, he was trying to charge me way too much, but then number two, he was complaining about black people not paying the way his white friends pay. He said my white clients, they always pay, they want to pay the full amount, it's fine. Black people are always doing this and doing that, and they always trying to get me to cut them a deal. And I say, yeah, I understand that, but black folks don't have the same money as white people. And so what had happened was I was getting him a lot of black customers, and he was taking them for granted, and they were coming to me complaining that that this guy, he won't bend on the price, he won't work with us, he doesn't give us any patience or whatever. So I said, don't go to him anymore. So my point is to say that doing business in the black community is always a two-way street. Customers got to give and take a little bit. You might have to put up with a little bit more every now and then. You might have to have some patience. You might have to pay a little bit of a black tax. I'll pay 10 to 15% more to get a black business over a white business or any other business, because I know the money's circulating in the community. Now you get to 30, 40, 50%, 80% more, that becomes a little bit more difficult. But then on the other side, I think that with the black businesses, I think you got to realize black customers are valuable customers, and black customers may not have the same money as white customers, and so you have a little bit to deal with, but this is your community. So I'm just thinking about that because that was on my heart, because I can tell you I got my feelings hurt this week with a black business. I tried to work with and I tried to give the lady some money, and it's just like, wow, you just really just didn't show up. Like, you really just did not, like, you just totally just like threw it out the window. Like, it was embarrassing. It was sad, and it was embarrassing because I'd really tried my best to make sure that a black person was involved with this project. But then the bright side is that there are a lot of black businesses that are just doing the damn thing. I'm getting married July 11th, and we told them from the beginning, I said I want the wedding to be as black as possible. Some stuff we couldn't find black, but we got almost everything else black. Videographer black, photographer black, the people, caterer black, the rehearsal dinner black, like all black, and that's something that we just believe in. But it doesn't mean you have to be black all the time. Sometimes you can't find black. Sometimes it's just really tough to do, but you got to at least be conscious. That's what it means to be a conscious consumer. So I got to roll out of here, guys. Please have a good day, and feel free, if you want to learn more about business, feel free to go get started in the Black Business School, theblackbusinessschool.com. Get started for free. You can get started today, theblackbusinessschool.com. Hit the thumbs up button also. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Peace.